Have you ever wondered how ancient civilizations thrived in the harsh desert conditions? Today, we dive into the history of the Trans-Saharan Trade. Imagine, if you will, the vast expanse of Saharan Africa. A place of extreme heat, shifting sands, and seemingly endless stretches of arid land. An inhospitable environment, where survival is a daily challenge. Yet beneath this desolate surface lies a story of resilience, of human ingenuity, and of a trade route that would defy the odds. This is the story of the Trans-Saharan Trade, an ancient network of trade routes that traverse the Sahara, connecting civilizations from the northern Mediterranean coast of Africa to the southern sub-Saharan regions. But how did such a complex system emerge amid such an unforgiving landscape? The inception of the Trans-Saharan Trade is shrouded in mystery. The earliest records date back to the 1st century AD, but it's believed to have existed in some form even before that. A testament to the adaptability and resourcefulness of the people who dared to forge a life in the desert. The Sahara presented countless challenges: intense heat, limited water sources, and treacherous terrains. Yet these obstacles were somehow overcome. The people of the Sahara developed ingenious methods to navigate the desert, using the stars, the wind, and the dunes as their guide. But the Trans-Saharan Trade was more than just a testament to human survival. It was a lifeline, a vital link that connected diverse cultures and economies. It facilitated the exchange of goods, ideas, and cultures. From gold and salt to textiles and ceramics, the trade routes of the Sahara were bustling with activity, shaping the economic and cultural landscape of the region. As we delve deeper into the history of the Trans-Saharan Trade, we'll uncover the rise and fall of this ancient network, explore its impact on the civilizations it connected, and reveal its enduring influence on the world as we know it today. Despite the harsh desert conditions, the Trans-Saharan Trade flourished and became a lifeline for many civilizations. But how did it all start? The inception of the Trans-Saharan Trade is as intriguing as it is complex. This vast network of trade routes, stretching across the unforgiving Sahara Desert, didn't just pop up overnight. It was a gradual process, driven by the desire for wealth and prosperity, and facilitated by the unlikely hero of the desert, the camel. The camel, with its remarkable adaptation to the harsh desert conditions, became the lifeline of this trade route, carrying goods, ideas, and people across the sands. The trade began around the 5th century AD, but it was the introduction of the Arabian camel, also known as the dromedary, around the 9th century that truly ignited the Trans-Saharan Trade. At the heart of this trade were three precious commodities: gold, salt, and slaves. Gold came from the forested regions of West Africa known as the Gold Coast, now present-day Ghana. This was a land so rich in gold that even the dogs were said to wear golden collars. Salt, on the other hand, was as valuable as gold, if not more. It was a necessity of life, used for preserving food, and it came from the great salt mines of the Sahara. Slaves were the third major commodity, captured in war, or bought in exchange for goods. They were transported across the desert to work in North African homes and fields. But the Trans-Saharan Trade was not just a simple exchange of goods. It was a complex network of interactions that saw the development of powerful city-states and empires along the trade routes. These included the ancient cities of Timbuktu and Gao, which became hubs of wealth, learning, and culture. The trade routes developed over time, dictated by the changing political landscape, the availability of resources, and the ingenuity of the traders themselves. They crisscrossed the desert, connecting sub-Saharan Africa with North Africa, and by extension, the Mediterranean world. The Trans-Saharan Trade was not just about goods, it was about the exchange of ideas, cultures, and technologies. A true testament to human resilience and innovation, it forever transformed the societies it touched, leaving a lasting legacy that continues to shape our world today. With the establishment of trade routes, the Trans-Saharan Trade entered its golden age. This was a time when wealth flowed across the desert sands, breathing life into the economies of West African kingdoms like Ghana, Mali, and Songhai. The Trans-Saharan Trade was more than a simple exchange of goods. It was a conduit for cultural, religious, and intellectual exchange. The most significant of these was the introduction of Islam to West Africa. Traders, scholars, and religious leaders crossed the Sahara, bringing with them the teachings of the Quran. This religious influence was profound. It imbued the societies of these West African kingdoms with new customs, beliefs, and traditions. West African rulers, seeing the potential for unity under a common faith, embraced Islam. It became the state religion shaping the political, social, and cultural landscapes of these kingdoms. Let's take a closer look at Mali, for instance. Under the rule of the legendary Mansa Musa, Mali flourished. Musa, a devout Muslim, embarked on a pilgrimage to Mecca that was so lavish it caused a significant disturbance in the global economy. His journey, brimming with gold, showcased the immense wealth that the Trans-Saharan Trade brought to his kingdom. It also demonstrated the deep-rooted influence of Islam in Mali's society. The golden age of the Trans-Saharan Trade was also a golden age for the cities along these trade routes. Timbuktu, for example, became a bustling hub of commerce and knowledge, attracting scholars from far and wide. Its libraries and madrasas were filled with invaluable manuscripts on subjects ranging from astronomy to medicine, making it a beacon of intellectual thought in the medieval world. But let's not forget the darker side of this trade. The Trans-Saharan Trade was also responsible for the movement of thousands of slaves across the desert, a grim reminder of the human cost of this economic boom. The golden age of the Trans-Saharan Trade left a significant mark on the history of Africa. It was a period of unprecedented prosperity and cultural exchange, but also one of exploitation and human suffering. A complex tapestry woven with threads of gold and blood that continues to shape the continent to this day. All good things come to an end, and so did the Trans-Saharan Trade. Let's journey back to the 15th century, when the world was rapidly changing. The age of discovery was in full swing, with European explorers charting new sea routes to India and the Americas. These new developments made the arduous journey across the Sahara Desert less appealing, and gradually the Trans-Saharan Trade began to decline. The decline was not immediate, nor was it a straightforward process. The trade routes across the Sahara had been established over centuries, and it took time for the new sea routes to become the preferred choice. However, by the end of the 16th century, the Trans-Saharan Trade had lost its dominance as the world's major trade route. Yet the decline of the Trans-Saharan Trade was not the end of its story. The impact of this trade route was far-reaching and long-lasting. Let's delve into some of these impacts. Firstly, the Trans-Saharan Trade was a significant conduit for the spread of Islam across Africa. As Muslim traders traversed the Sahara, they brought with them their religious beliefs, which gradually took root in many parts of West Africa. Secondly, the trade also facilitated the spread of African cultures. As goods were exchanged, so too were ideas, customs, and traditions. This cultural exchange led to the diffusion of African art, music, and architectural styles across vast regions. However, it's essential to acknowledge the darker side of the Trans-Saharan Trade as well. It was a major route for the slave trade, leading to the forced migration and suffering of millions of Africans. This aspect of the trade has had lasting effects that are still being grappled with today. The Trans-Saharan Trade might have declined, but its impact is still felt today. From the spread of Islam and African cultures to the repercussions of the slave trade, the echoes of this ancient trade route continue to reverberate in our present-day reality. History is not just about the past, it's about the lessons we learn for the future. As we delve into the final chapter of our Trans-Saharan Trade exploration, it's time to reflect on the lessons this historical episode offers us. The Trans-Saharan Trade was not just an economic venture, but a testament to human tenacity, resilience, and the power of cultural exchange. Firstly, it reveals the enormous potential of cultural exchange. The Trans-Saharan Trade was a melting pot of cultures, ideas, and knowledge. From the spread of Islam across Africa to the introduction of new languages, writing systems, and art forms, the trade route served as a conduit for cultural fusion. This cultural exchange enriched societies and led to advancements in various fields, a reminder of how openness to new cultures can fuel progress. Secondly, the Trans-Saharan Trade is a lesson in resilience. Traders and travelers braved harsh desert conditions, risked their lives and livelihoods, all for the sake of trade. They adapted, innovated, and persevered, creating a thriving trade route out of an unforgiving landscape. This resilience, this ability to turn adversity into opportunity, is a lesson that stands the test of time. Finally, the Trans-Saharan Trade underscores the far-reaching effects of trade. It wasn't just about the exchange of goods, it was about the exchange of ideas, technologies, and beliefs. The trade route facilitated the spread of Islam, the introduction of new agricultural techniques, and the dissemination of African gold across the globe. It shaped societies, economies, and histories, underlining how trade can have profound and lasting impacts. The Trans-Saharan Trade was more than just a trade route. It was a testament to human resilience and ingenuity. It's a chapter in our collective history that we should never forget. As we journey through the annals of history, let's remember the lessons from the Trans-Saharan Trade, the power of cultural exchange, the strength of human resilience, and the far-reaching impacts of trade, and apply them as we navigate the complexities of the modern world.